Hey, what's up, rock stars? It's Rox with another Insecure review. This one would be Insecure Season 5, Episode 2, Growth, okay? All right, you guys, a review. Let's get to it, shall we? All right, you guys, so the show. It seems that we are 1 year later, okay? Now, we know what happened on the last episode. Issa and Lawrence broke up. And Issa was still not really sure, not sure-footed, I should say, about her Block Foundation, the business that she is, has created and is running. But we're 1 year later, and we see that both Issa and Molly seem to be doing very well in their lives. Issa's happy as she brushes her teeth and she sees that Block finally got their 10,000th follower. Okay, so Block is growing, and it looks like she still might be managing at the apartment building that she was living in. And then we see Molly, and Molly seems to be doing very well at her job. She's smiling, she's laughing. Oh, Molly's got a new haircut too. Yeah, things seem to be good. And then Molly and Issa, remember they asked last week if they were going to be okay. Well, Molly asked Issa if they were going to be okay. Well, it looks like they are okay. They're more than okay. Okay, they have become each other's best friends again in the best way possible. Their lives are definitely intertwined to the point where Molly actually spends the night over at Issa's house. Now, we ain't never seen Molly spend the night over at Issa's. I've never seen them spend the night at each other's house, but they spend that kind of time together. Issa even got her a pillow, okay? Because she was like, your big head kept flattening mine. But really, really sweet, okay? So I was just like, please don't tell me that Issa and Molly fixing to do something. I mean, I didn't think that's where they was going, but when they got in that bed and was facing each other and everything, I was just like, oh, okay. But nope, not that kind of party. Now, we see Issa. She is still very much at least friends with Nathan. And she is at Nathan's barbershop, and they're talking about, I think, having a party for his 1 year anniversary in the barbershop. Remember, at the end of last season, he was just getting that started, getting it off the ground. So she's there in her Block Foundation capacity, trying to help him figure out what's going to be the best look for the celebration. There looks like there might be some interest still there, but from what we can tell right now, they haven't crossed the line. That Nathan's still looking good, though. That Nathan's still looking good. We see Molly. Molly is at her parents' house. And like I said, it looks like Molly and her relationship with her parents is better. Well, she was always cool with the mama, but she had an issue with the daddy. Well, she actually had an issue with the mom for staying with the shit that the daddy had done back in the day. But it looks like Molly has come to terms with all of that. So she's at the party, and she's talking to her mom. Of course, her mom would like to know when Molly is going to get married. I was like, Mama, listen, Molly is still working on Molly. We can't expect this child to be getting married and having babies. The mama's teasing her like, your dad is going to be in a wheelchair by the time you decide to get married. All right. Molly, on the other hand, is trying to convince her parents that they need to get serious about the, estate planning. All right. Talking to somebody about a will. Something that is difficult for a lot of people to do, but as you get older, it's just something that is necessary, especially when you have things, you have kids and, people and all that. You need to make sure that everything is taken care of. But the mom is really not trying to think about that right now. Like we said, Molly needs to get married and have these babies so she can have her grandbabies while she can still enjoy them. Okay. And then here come walking up Herbert. Herbert goes to the mama's church. And she was like, you remember Herbert, don't you? And Molly looks at him like, oh, now Herbert looks like, I was like, what be wrong with our parents when they be trying to hook us up with somebody? When you be like, now, good damn well that you ain't fixing to put me with this person. Honey, Herbert looked like, he looked like a grown ass, he looked like a for real old man in this little body, and then he's shorter than Molly too. He all smiling and all. Yeah, Herbert is still involved in the church. As a matter of fact, he said that he writes trap songs, reworks them into a gospel sound. And Molly was just like, oh, Oh, you do, huh? And she kind of looking at her mama like, I know you're not serious. But the mom was like, yeah, Herbert, you know, look at, give Herbert a try. No, we won't be giving Herbert a try. We get to see Issa in her element when she is talking to, it looks like a water company that she wants them to maybe sponsor this fashion show for this guy named Crenshawn. Okay, like Crenshaw and then Sean. Okay, so Crenshawn is the name of the company, and Issa's there representing, trying to get this business, this water company to, I guess, sponsor this fashion show. So she's talking to, you know, a young white guy, and she's telling him how, you know, she thinks that this would be a great, you know, a great venture for the two of them to link up. And, you know, well, the water company guy has a problem with some of the some of the points of Crenshawn's his show. Issa is explaining to them, you know, what the concept is basically Crenshawn is a former felon himself, came out, rehabilitated himself. He has this fashion line. He's pushing it. He also employs former felons, so that, you know, people that usually have a hard time getting a job in the community, you know, just trying to make sure that everybody is gainfully employed, you know, in the right way. And so this would be like a good thing for them to get on, you know, with this newcomer as they try to build their business, build the brand. And the water company is just really not really sure if they want to do that. Maybe they want to go with somebody more established, you know, and Issa tries to convince them, but it doesn't look like they're budging on that one. So this might be a deal that falls through. So afterwards, you know, she's talking to Molly, and she's telling Molly about the whole Crenshawn presentation that she did, and how the water guy was not really seeing it. And Molly tells her that maybe she needs to go over his head and talk to, you know, the higher ups at the company, because if this is something you feel really strongly about, then, you know, to go for it. Now, they're having this conversation while they're sitting there having dinner together. Okay. I really love the fact that Issa and Molly are back good again. This is probably the best that they've ever been, because there's always been a little bit of some sort of weird tension. Well, not always, but I would say like the third and fourth seasons, you know, was always that tension there. So we finally get back to the more comfortable place that the two of them, you know, used to have. While they're sitting there talking, Molly gets a text message from Herbert, and she was just like, oh God. And she was like, is that still from Herbert? And she was just like, yeah. And she was just like, well, I mean, is he that bad? Like, you know, show me a picture of him. It can't be that bad. And she just picks up her phone and she just shows it to her. And she was just like, okay, his dad is cute, but show me him. Like, show me a picture of him. His dad is cute, but show me a picture. Woo! Child, bless Herbert's heart. Molly's issues were, besides work, you know, that she's a good lawyer. She's just be too intense. It seemed like she finally backed up off of that. But Molly's big thing is dating. Okay. And so even though this whole situation with Herbert might not work out, maybe it is time for her to dip her toe back into the dating pool. So she's on the apps, and she's looking at how she used to be. You know, we get the flashbacks of a really tight-assed Molly. You guys remember all the things that Molly, you know, that came with being Molly. She had to have a certain man. The man had to be a certain way, you know, all of this. Well, that didn't really work for Molly so well. Okay. So maybe it's time for Molly to loosen up, maybe do a different approach to dating her men. Okay. And later on, we see actually Molly go to, on a date. When the guy walks in, he's a good looking guy, you know, she all waves at him, and then she was like, okay, calm down, you know, hey, here I am. Molly is trying a different approach to dating these men. So we'll see how that goes. But jumping back over to Issa. So she goes to meet with the higher up at the water company. Okay. And when she gets there, she realizes that actually the higher up brought in the water guy, the guy that she originally was talking to, into this meeting. So a little awkward, right? Because it's like, oh, I thought I was going over your head. Now you in this meeting too. But, Issa goes full-fledged into her launch. Like, this is really a good link up for the two of the companies to come together, to be on the beginning stages of Crenshawn. And, he's really going to do well. And, so she's giving her pitch. And they have a little small conversation between the two of them, the higher up and the water guy. And then he says, okay, well, if we were to support this, there would be some notes. Okay. And usually notes means that there would be some changes there. And, Issa's like, okay, sure. So, we want to get rid of, now Crenshawn is very urban, very much Crenshaw. So they want to get rid of probably some of the more important parts of the show that makes it what it is, being Crenshawn, right? So afterwards, Issa goes to see Crenshawn, and it turns out to be nobody other than our boy Ralph Angel, okay? Kofi, just as cute as can be with his young ass. Child, I still can't get over how young he is, but he is Crenshawn, okay? So she comes in there and she tells him, like, okay, it's a done deal. We got this. We got the support. The water company is going to be a part of it. So he's just like, yeah, I'm about to show these niggas, like, he's for real, like Crenshaw, just like, wait till these niggas see what I'm about to do. Like, I'm about, so he's doing all of that. And, that is the element that the water company is a little nervous about. Okay. So she was just like, okay, slow your roll, because the water company, they have a few notes. And he was just like, notes? Well, they want to take out the lowriders, and they want to take out the performance. He was like, what? No, that is the whole show. Like, that's my passion. That's my view. Maybe they don't see the passion the way, maybe this is not going to work. And she was just like, no, it is going to work. She basically tells him that she needs him to trust her on this one, that they just need this one win, and she wants to win with him. But sometimes you just got to bend on what you want. Now, you can tell that Crenshawn doesn't really want to do that. He ain't the type to really bend. This performance, this show is really important to him. The way that he has it already, he ain't really trying to bend it and change it up like that, right? But the fact that Issa's trying to tell him, like, no, you got to do this. I worked hard for you. I went through a lot. Like, you got to do this. We just going to make the changes on the notes and all that. He finally was like, fuck it. Okay, let's get it. All right. But something told me that I was like, Crenshawn ain't going to. He don't look like the fuck it, let's get it type. Okay. Especially if you passionate to your view. Like, you going to make sure that shit happens. I forgot to tell you guys that Molly actually does call her mother. And she apologizes to her. Like, I know I can be a lot. I know I can be intense. So, I'm sorry that if I was putting the pressure on you, when it comes to that whole estate thing. But her mom was like, well, you don't have to apologize, because you're right. That is something that me and your dad needs to take care of. So she's going to get the entire estate planning off the ground. But, kudos to Molly for realizing how difficult she can be, because at one point in the montage, the boyfriend says, you never let shit go. Okay. You just be so hard on everything. And it don't even be necessary. So Molly kind of realizes that. I was like, child, they gonna fuck around and make us love Molly again. And who thought that we was gonna do that? Let's talk about Crenshawn's performance. So Issa goes to the performance. She's got Koya there. Of course, Koya is there helping out. That is her assistant. We also have media there. All right. And the media, Issa don't really navigate the media well, but the media is a necessary evil. Even though she doesn't want to do it, she does do the interview. Koya's back in the background, like, and the lady was like, is there a problem? And Issa was like, oh, no, girl, that's just something that we be doing, like a cheer. Like, we be like, hey. I was cracking. And Issa is so fucking awkward and funny to me, you guys. So she cuts the interview short, goes over there to talk to Koya, and she was like, what's the problem? She was like, yeah, Crenshawn is the problem. All right. she goes back there, and Crenshawn basically is going forward with his original program, his original show. And Issa was like, no, you cannot do that, okay? And he was like, yes, I can. All right, I'm not changing up my vision, and, you know, this is something I'm passionate about. This is what I had originally, and this is what I'm going to do. I'm not a fucking sellout, okay? So Issa is upset that he won't change. So we get on with the show, and the show starts out as fashion shows do, but then it takes a quick left, honey. We got drummers out there that's playing on the paint, you know, buckets, and we got people in red rag suits, face covered, you know, stark red, and you know, we've got lowrider bikes, and we got the word fuck in the background, and you know, it's a whole lot. And the water guy is sitting in the front row, of course, and Issa's just like, oh my God, like this is a disaster. Like, look, he can't even look, he's so shocked. And you can see the white guy, and he's just looking around like, oh my God. You know how sometimes it can be when you see white folks, they're just a little shocked with, you know, what we as Black people like to express. So, but the show it's a whole lot, but it's definitely one of those things that get your attention, okay? So when it's over, Issa just knows that her, you know, her block, her name being on this is probably going to be bad. But when the water guy comes up to her, he was just like, oh my God, I was blown away, like mind blown, like, oh my God, I'm so glad that you guys went ahead and did what you did, you know, regardless of what I thought the show should be. Like, he loved it. And Issa is now feeling off guard again. I'm feeling not sure-footed again, because she wanted him to change the show. The fact that Crenshawn decided to keep the show the way it was, well, who really gets the glory in this one, you know? And when the people are talking to Crenshawn, the media are talking to him and everything, he kind of looks over at Issa, and Issa's kind of looking at him like I didn't do well. Like, now she probably second guessing herself, like, you know, should I have done that? Should I have done this? So, a mess. So when it's over, not a mess, I would say, but again, just Issa back in that, you know. So when it's over, she texts Nathan, and she says, hey, you want to meet for drinks later? And I was just like, girl, go on and get you a little something from your man, honey. Ain't nothing like getting up a nice, warm, good-looking man to make you feel better. So later on, he's at her place, and they're having drinks, and he's trying to lift her up because she's down on herself about what happened at Crenshawn's show. And, you know, she's bummed, of course, and she's also kind of falling asleep. She's tired. And he was just like, hey, I'm gonna let you go. You know, I'm gonna go on and leave. It's getting late. And then she was just like, well, why don't you just stay? And I was like, yeah, why don't you just stay? Why don't you just stay? We ain't had a good sex scene from Issa yet, honey. Remember, one season, that's all we got. But, so I'm thinking like, okay, her and Nathan about to make this shit happen. So he was like, oh, okay. All right, I didn't know it was that kind of party, but, you know, always gonna rise to the occasion. So he goes, and they get in the bed, and she thanks him for being there and, you know, staying there with her and everything. And he's looking at her, and she's looking at him, and he leans up, you know, kind of scoots up to her in the bed and gives her a kiss. And then she starts crying. I was like, Issa, why are you crying? Wait, girl, this ain't the time to cry. Why are you crying? And he's just sort of like, wait a minute, whoa, what's wrong? You know, she was just like, I thought I was ready, but I'm not ready. You know, she's just crying. She just lays her head on his chest, and he's just sort of like patting her back like I didn't think that this was about to happen, but this was kind of probably the reason why these two hadn't crossed this line yet. Sometimes you go against your better judgment, and then you be like, why the fuck am I here? So I guess when finally Issa falls asleep, he slides out, because you guys know that Lathan is also very good at disappearing. Okay. So she hears the door just as it closes. She looks over at the side of the bed and Nathan is not there any longer. And I was like, well, girl, what did you expect? Now, you done had a full emotional breakdown and y'all ain't even there no more. Like, he probably shouldn't even have been there. And then, you know, so she just kind of looks up at the ceiling, and I was just like, oh, we be almost there with Issa, you guys. Issa be feeling so confident and things will be working, and something will knock her off her square again. It's the thing that we love and hate about Issa. You know, we love the fact that she's vulnerable and she isn't always sure, because that's how we are in life. But we also wish that she could just realize that it's not even her potential. She is there. She's doing it, you know, and just believe in yourself, Issa. That's all it takes, is just for you to fully believe in yourself. Yes, sometimes you get knocked back a couple of pegs, but, you know, this Issa compared to where she was a while ago is two totally different things. So, you know, I'm just like, come on, Issa, we pulling for you, girl. We rooting for you. You can do it. All right, you guys, I got to get back to work. Make sure that you rate, comment, and subscribe to this channel. I'm itsrox. The channel is itsrox, and everything I do will be in the bottom bar. And you guys, I updated all my bottom bars so y'all can see where my P.O. boxes are and all of my information. Okay? So, anyway, that's that. I hope you have a wonderful, wonderful rest of your day, and I plan on doing the same. Until next time, rock stars. Bye.